Hello and welcome. It is Chance with Dark Path Emporium here to, well, of course, create a new tutorial, our first tutorial ever here on Heroforge. Now, I was thinking a little bit about this video and what I wanted to do, and I was thinking maybe, do I want to focus on just the face? Do I want to focus on the clothing, the weapons? But I think I'm just going to do a full dive here. And for the purpose of this video, I think we're going to go ahead and make, well, everyone's favorite character. I think we're going to work on a dwarf. I think everybody loves dwarves. I love dwarves, and I think it'd be a really great starting character to work on. So let's head over here to the species tab, and we're gonna come down here and we're gonna look at the dwarves actually, or you can just quick search. So dwarf, there we go. I'm gonna go with your standard stout gentleman here. And let's take a look. Heroforge's default height for their dwarves looks like 4 feet. I'm going to make them a little bit taller. I'm going to go just under the legal definition of, of somebody who is legally declared with dwarfism. So I'm going to go just under 4'10" at 4'9", and we're gonna tone down his weight a little bit. I don't want him to be super bulky. We're going to go over to the head section here, and don't ever just click the trash can on the face, because if you do, well, that happens. So don't do that. But let's give him some intense features here. So we're going to get rid of the hair, and we're going to get rid of the beard, and I think we're going to get rid of the eyebrows. So. Wow, I'm starting to understand why they grow their hair and their beards out. So I'm going to continue on here. And let's work on the body. So let's get the clothes off. Now, no worries, because if you click the trash can on the outfit, you're not going to have to worry about his body disappearing. That's only if, you go to torso and you click that. So, just don't do that. Little tidbit of advice: if you're on a computer, you can actually just hit Control-Z and you can undo the progress that you've been working on. Or let's say you make a mistake, like you actually do delete the torso, you can just press Control-Z and it'll undo it for you. So that's always a nice little bit of information to have in your arsenal while you're sitting there making a character. So let's work on his upper scale a little bit. I'm going to increase his arm length because I've always imagined that dwarves have fairly long arms. They got to compensate somehow to swing an axe into an enemy's face. So we're going to give him some longer arms, and we're going to make him pretty muscly because, think they're carrying around so much heavy armor. They're carrying around these weapons. They gotta be super stout. Posture, I'm gonna kind of lower his posture a little bit, make him kind of slouch a little bit. And then we're going to increase the bust, nothing too crazy. Increase that big old beer belly of his, give him some curves. Work on the booty. Now remember, with Heroforge, when you're making the booty big, you got to be careful because sometimes you can distort the clothing. And I'll give you a quick example of that. So we're going to go into the clothing tab. We're going to select legs. And then we're going to go through the under tab over here, and I'm going to choose, this is fitting, Elven Guardian Pants. There we go. See? Ooh, man, wraps around that dwarven booty like nothing. And to show you what I'm talking about with the distortion, we're going to add something simple like, let's say, this little kind of armor area on the hips. You can see in these sections right here, that it really distorts. Like when you look under and everything, it really, really distorts the way that the model looks, or at least the clothing, because let's add something on top here. So we're going to do, let's see. You know what? This looks good. Elven chest plate. Perfect. You can see in certain parts here that it just looks really weird. Now, of course, you could always go to we're going to go to gear, and then we're going to select back. And of course, you could always cover that with, let's say, a cape. That's always great. But if you're planning on printing out this model or having Heroforge printed out, if you try to paint it, you're going to see some weird anomalies with your model like that. So it's really best that that while you're making your character, that you really take the portions of the body into consideration, because you might run into issues. So let's go back to that booty here, and we're going to tune that down just a little bit. See, so that's a little bit more. That's a little bit, you know. I mean, it's a small booty. It's like Hank Hill booty, but it's doable. You know, it's not super crazy. Then we're going to go back to that same model. Check out the same chest plate, which was right here. And now you can see that it fits just a little bit better. And actually, just to kind of give you a description or a visual representation of that. So actually, you could see right there that his butt cheeks are actually sticking through it. So yeah, when you're messing with the body proportions, you really do have to take that into consideration. Otherwise, you might, like, once again, run into some really weird anomalies with the body proportions. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, let's get this elven clothes stuff off of him, because it just feels dirty having that on him. All right, so let's head over to the face here. Actually, we are not done with the body. Let me go into the body measurements here, because I do want his posture to be... Oh, and when you're messing with their build, you can actually make their shoulders stick out just a little bit more. So yeah, I want him to be pretty broad. We're going to up the scale a little bit, lower his height just by a few inches there, because he's going to be a really broad, stout guy. And then we're going to move over back to the face. And honestly, I think these ears are just a little too big, so I'm going to kind of tone them down a little here. So right here we have dwarf ears, but I think we could probably get away with the protruding ears, and I think that would work just as well. Because, yeah, they stick out quite a bit, hence the name protruding ears, but they're just not as crazy as those dwarven ears. So let me continue on here. Actually, before we even touch any of the hair or beard or anything like that, we're going to go in and we're actually going to edit the face. So right now, I think he's quite stoic looking. I think he's a little too handsome, honestly, to be a dwarf. So I think I'm going to mess around with the eyes a little bit. Like, I want his forehead to be a little bit more pronounced. So I'm going to kind of go in with the goblin features. Like right there, I think that forehead is probably perfect, honestly. And let me take a look here. All right, so I think that's also a good one there. You know, we could actually look at the orcish features. The forehead's just a little bit too narrow. I like the indentations, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come down here, this little gear here, and I'm actually going to take the shape, and I'm going to move it back, so that way we have the similar shape to the goblinoid features, but I really want to keep that detail of the orc. So let me show you what happens. So if you take the details tab after you selected a forehead or a piece of the head on here, you can adjust the shape and the details. So right now we have the details of the goblinoid features, and if I wanted more goblinoid detail, I could remove the detail by going back. Now, honestly, I don't know. I just really like the indentation and the serious tone of the orc features for that. So that's what I'm going to stick with here. You could also go up to the fairy tale goblin forehead, which really, I mean, ooh, actually, let's see here. We're going to add just a little bit of detail. You know what? Here, let's add some color to the gentleman here and see what we can get. We're just going to go with a preset. We can adjust these things and fine-tune them later, but you know what? I kind of like that. I like the shadowing, and I like the little indentations on his forehead. It makes him look very serious. All right, so let's go to the eyes and give him some stern eyeballs. And let's make some big edits here. I want him to have kind of larger eyes, but nothing too crazy. We'll bring him in. We'll lower them. And we're going to bring them out just a bit there. And we'll make some smaller edits as well. So make them tired, you know, living underground, mining all day, fighting off goblins. It's a tiring life. It's a hardy life, and they drink a lot and they eat a lot. So, you know, high cholesterol, bad livers, all the fun that comes into being a barbarian type of creature. Right now I'm really just messing with the depth and really just the clearance of the eyelids, because I want my character to have a little bit more uniqueness to him. And that's the really great thing about what Heroforge has done here, with them allowing you to tweak the sliders of what the eyes and the shape of the face and everything, is that so far since they've released this, I really have yet to see a similar character from anyone's creation, unless they're using the presets, of course. But most of the time when you're on the Reddit forum for Heroforge, or when you're on the Facebook group, I mean, people are creating unique characters all the time. So really, ever since that's released, I have yet to see the same character. Again, referencing back, I mean, unless they're using a preset, that's, you know, really just something that you don't see very often anymore. So it's really cool. Very impressive for a company to do that. And this is a free account that I have. So for this to just be accessible to anybody, I mean, again, that's just, I mean, if you were to show this to a hobbyist that makes miniatures or paints minis for D&D or tabletop games, let's say even back in early 2000, they would look at this with amazement and say, wow, I can just make my own character. Pretty great. There we go. Yeah, the more I get into making this guy, the more I think he kind of just looks like a serial killer. I don't know. He's not really looking very dwarven to me. But again, he doesn't have his beard or his hair, so just, you know, bear with me here. And we got to go with a bulbous nose, don't we? But the question is, do I want it to be bulbous like that? Or do I want it to be bulbous like that? I like the detail. No, it's got to be like that. Ooh, you know what? Yeah, because I want it to be strong. So I think we'll keep the shape, but we're going to get rid of the detail, because it definitely changes the way that it looks. I think that looks pretty solid. Expand it out just a little bit. I feel like lowering it might be... Yeah, let's bring some depth to it as well. Yeah, looking pretty dwarvish, right? Maybe even a really, really tall gnome. I think we're getting there. I think we're genuinely seeing some good work here. Let's add some age to him. Yeah, we'll say he's like in his 50s in dwarven years. Carve up his face a little bit. Whew. He's looking pretty wild. We're gonna smooth that out a little bit. That's a little too much. I think I'm gonna shorten his face a little bit, and also the top of his head. I want him to have kind of a square look. So I think now we're really getting a really good go of it. And how about lips? Let's give him some nice old juicy lips right there. Because when I imagine a dwarf, you know, I imagine when a dwarf kisses their partner, I imagine it's just like, you know, just like kind of a drunken, sloppy, like, just like intense. I mean, look at that face. Look at that face. Look at those eyes looking at you. Those are the eyes of a man who is definitely... Those are the eyes of a haunted person. And I definitely relate to that. We'll be right back. Actually, no, we're going to keep it right here. So let me jump in here. Let's get him... what kind of cheeks do we want? No way. He's looking like He's looking like Mr. Clean on crack. He's looking like Howie Mandel and Mr. Clean went out on a 3-day bender in Las Vegas and just lost all their gambling money, and they're now living on the streets doing coke together. There we go. That's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. I think I can yeah, I think I can work with that. So let's widen that face up a little bit. We're going to lower it. Oh, that's actually not bad. Yeah, that's pretty good. About depth, I want to bring it back just a little bit. No, too wide. Let's bring them. You know what? Let's lower these cheekbones. There we go. That's looking pretty dwarvish to me. And you know, I think for the chin, I think I'm gonna leave the chin. I might square it up a little bit. But I think overall, I'm thinking overall that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's not looking bad. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. That's not looking bad. I like the ears. So let's jump into the hair now. So for this guy, we have a lot of options. I could give him some very nice straight, not very fluffy hair, or I could go with this insane lion's mane. That's we went from dwarf to pre-modern human. Boy, okay, we're gonna not do that. Question is, do we want to go Viking kind of style, or ooh, we could go with the flowing locks. That's not too bad. Give him some braids. Boy, they really aren't giving me too many options with my guy here. Ooh, you know what? I really do like the dreadlocks quite a bit. Oh yeah, that actually looks pretty solid. So we're going to go with the goatee, of course. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I want a big old beard form or if I just want to go with a standard beard like this. I kind of like the cleaner looking cut. So I'm going to go with that. Ooh, that's actually not bad either. Yeah, I'm going to go with a smaller cut. I really like this hairstyle, but I just think that we're missing something here. I think a deep dwarf would probably be a better color to go with. And I'm gonna mess with his irises here because I want him to have not purple eyes, I want red eyes. There we go. And I want his eyes to be dilated so that way it looks like he's trying to get as much light in as he possibly can. Oh, that looks great. Let's change his lip color though. Hands. All right. Yeah, I think we're finding something here. Let's see what Heroforge's dwarf armor looks like. That's actually not too bad. So I'm going to stick with that. And now we're going to mix mash a little bit. I don't want it to be just fully that. So, you know what? Let's give him some... What do we got here? I want something a little bit bigger. Something a little bit bulkier. So let's go with... That's actually not too bad. I know it says samurai, indomitable samurai, but I feel like it's kind of got the bulkiness of what you would expect a dwarf to wear. So we're going to go with that. And let's move into the gloves. Chainmail gauntlets. No, I don't feel like that's right either. Looking for something bulkier. I feel like that actually would work just for the aesthetics because it's pretty brutal, you know? If they close their fist, they've got that point on there so they could hit their enemies and take them out. I really do like that. I think aesthetically that does work. Ooh, but these heavy gauntlets, yeah, I think that's the deal right there. All right, now let's move down to legs. And let's look at something bulky for them. So let's see. Techno-organic. Honestly, it says techno-organic, and obviously it's going to be for futuristic things, you know, sci-fi settings. But I feel like in regards to dwarves, the heavily armored aesthetic of that, I feel like that just works perfectly. So we're going to go with that. And I'm going to give him the gladiator belt and skirt. And let's give him some super bulky boots. Could put him in high heels. Elven high heels. Ooh. He's like, I refuse to be short. No, we're not going to do that, though. Going to ruin the fun. But we will come down here and choose something a little bit square. I'm looking for square. Ooh. That might be a heavy contender right there. Yeah, these boots are the assault armor boots. And that's one thing I really like about Heroforge is even if you see something that they designed for a futuristic build or model, you can mix and match. And honestly, depending on the culture that you're going with or depending on the type of species in like a D&D setting, it could really work. The plate armor, that's not too bad, but we lose the bulkiness, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. Orcish boots, I like that, and I don't know. I feel like if it was Plent from the Drizzt Do'Urden series, I feel like that would probably work for him, but not for what we're going for aesthetically. Oh, you know what? Here we go. Dwarven boots. And I like the shape. I do not like the size, so we are going to go back to the futuristic ones because I feel like this works aesthetically way more for dwarves. And helmets, I think we're going to leave the helmets out, but let's give them some pauldrons at the very least. And once again, we're just kind of looking for square. Ooh, those are actually pretty sweet. I might stick with these ones. Tactical's not too bad. The nice thing about the pauldrons, though, is that not only are they adjustable in the way that they are positioned, but you can also resize them. So if they're too small, you could actually go into pose, go into advanced, and then you can select the right or left pauldron, and then you can actually raise the scale of it. So yeah, I think we're going to stick with these ones. I just like the way that they look. I feel that they look very dwarven, so we're going to stick with that. And let's see. Does he need a flowing cape? Yeah, I think we're going to stick with a flowing cape. I think that looks pretty good. What are we going to have on the side here? All right, let's see. I could give him a gun. Dwarf with a gun, that'd be funny. Or a banana. Here we go. With my trusty banana, I will slay the orcs. And then I'll have a snack. You know what? Let's do this. Water bottle? Ah, there we go. Have a gourd. You know what? I'm gonna have two gourds. He's a thirsty boy. One's got his water. The other's got his whatever he wants in there. He's definitely not staying hydrated, that's for sure. All right. And now let's get something in his hands. Let's get a nice, you know, we got to get a stereotypical axe in here, so Boom. There we go. Let's get him posed. And you know what? I think one of the best poses we could go for is this right here. Let's bring him up. Bring up the arm. And we are going to bring up the position here of the weapon. So while I'm doing this, just kind of keep an eye on the right side a little bit, just to see the yellow or the orange here, just see what I'm clicking on. So that way you just kind of have an idea as to what I'm manipulating here and what I'm doing. Sorry if the mouse clicks are annoying. I'm not a professional editor or anything of the sort. I'm very much an amateur. I just really love working in Heroforge, and I just want people to be able to see what I'm doing. So if you appreciate it, awesome. This video is for you then. So let me do this, and we're going to bring his arm over just a bit. Right here, bend and heighten. There we go. And let's manipulate his eyes a little bit just to have him look this way, and let's kind of mess with his face. So we're going to come up here. We're going to just pretend that he's looking down, looking at through his hands here. We're going to come up here and move his jaw a little bit. Now we can move it forward. That's the face he's making right now. Oh, you know what? I just forgot this entire time we're working on this dude's face. I just totally forgot. He doesn't have eyebrows. Gotta give him eyebrows. Gotta give him super epic eyebrows. There we go. Thanks for telling me, everybody. Appreciate it. Making me sit here with this guy with no eyebrows. I spent so long on his forehead. You know, that's how you can tell he's got a good forehead. When you got a good forehead, you don't need eyebrows to show the expression of rage in your face. But the truth is, I was going to come here to do his eyebrows and start manipulating them, and yeah, I realized he doesn't have any eyebrows. Yeah, let's make him angry. Make him real mad that I didn't do that for him. All right, I think so far he's looking pretty good. Let's get his lips kind of. Yeah, he's coming in to kiss the goblins, you know. He's not gonna kill him. He's gonna smooch him. He's like, let me give you a kiss. Yeah, I see. All right. He's happy about it too. He knows what he's about to do. There we go. We also need to give him better teeth as well. Can't just have those flat, mouse-like, whale-like teeth. He's got to have real teeth. See, there we go. Those are chompers right there. Don't put your finger in his mouth. He'll bite your fingers off. All right. And for the theme, we're just going to go lazy on this one. And I'm going to show you preset-wise what you can do. So I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to select the Knights of Noir. And right now, we got a nice little preset on him, and he looks pretty good. Got him all colored up. He's a Deep Dwarf. I believe they call him Drugar or Drugar. I'll have to look that up. But so far, yeah, he looks like he's about to just go to town. And yeah, so that's my tutorial for a dwarf. We saw how the process of creating a character can really evolve there, and just kind of, you know, take a spin. Sometimes when I'm making a character, I'll just go in with an idea, and sometimes I'll just end up with something completely different than what I went in with. Sometimes I'll be like, you know, I want to make just a regular dwarf, and next thing you know, I've got a deep dwarf here with, instead of the stereotypical braided hair, it's, you know, he's got kind of dreaded hair, and I think he looks great. So I got to change his hair out just a little bit, though, because that back portion there is kind of driving me crazy. There we go. Yeah, we can suspend our belief there and just say that it's kind of hanging out. But yeah, let's name him. So we're gonna name him. What should we name him? You know what? I'm gonna name him Ebro, or Eyebrow, or Eyebrow. Depends on how you want to look at it. And we're going to save him. So this account that I've created here, this is going to be for our special little tutorials, and he is the first character that I've made with this account. So hey, if you've seen this video, congratulations. This is a first for us, and I appreciate you being here. So I'll get this video uploaded, and yeah, I look forward to you guys watching it. Thanks. See ya.